Freaky was directed by Christopher Landon and stars Vince Vaughn and Kathryn Newton. This film's been out for a while, but it's taken me a bit of time to see the film, unfortunately. Sorry that this is a slightly late review. There's a lot of reviews coming this weekend, by the way, so please stay tuned. I'll talk more about that towards the end of this video. This movie was directed by Christopher Landon, who also directed the Happy Death Day movies, which were pretty fun movies. I actually haven't reviewed those on my channel for some reason, but I loved those two films. They were pretty fun movies. I think the first one was better than the second one. But I was very interested in this movie. As you know, the body swap genre, there have been things done in this before, like the Freaky Friday movies. If you've seen any of them, then you've definitely seen that trope done before. But much like Happy Death Day took the Groundhog Day trope and essentially made it into this slasher horror movie, this very much does the same with that. In this movie, a girl in high school named Millie, played by Kathryn Newton, is body swapped with a serial killer played by Vince Vaughn. And for pretty much the entire movie, Kathryn Newton goes around as the serial killer, while Vince Vaughn goes around as Kathryn Newton, and yeah. And I had a blast watching Freaky. Is it a perfect movie? No. Is it a film that is very enjoyable? Absolutely. It's a film that it's horror slasher for sure, but it'll actually lift your spirits as you're watching it. Once again, Landon does a really good job with comedy, integrating that into the more scary stuff. This one has a lot more gore than the other two movies did, the Happy Death Day movies. This one has some more intense kills. So there's that added advantage. And the performances are great. Kathryn Newton is very good in the movie, and she portrays both sides of her characters pretty well. Vince Vaughn, however, is really the standout in this movie for me. He played Millie, this 17-year-old girl, in a really affecting and a very comedic way. It's interesting seeing him going around doing 17-year-old stuff, trying to convince other people who Millie knows in real life that he's actually this teenage girl within. And that's actually kind of funny. It leads to some really interesting moments, particularly one scene where he talks to this woman who was actually Millie's mom. It's a very vibrant, very colorful, very well-directed movie, and it has a very cool soundtrack to it as well. It definitely invokes a lot of that 80s serial killer stuff, especially with the color usage. And once again, Landon doesn't try to just act within the trope, the idea of body swapping. He goes a little further than that as well. There's definitely some interesting new stuff added to it. It takes about 25 minutes to get going. Once you're into that particular aspect of the film, it's pretty great from there. But before that happens, there is some time where we're getting to know the characters a little bit. We don't get to know much about our serial killer, but we don't really need to. But you don't really, unfortunately, get more with Millie. I wish there was a little more with her character, especially her the way that she's set up, because the targets that the serial killer eventually starts to get are the targets that Millie has the most animosity against. So that's actually like very coincidental, but in a way it works very well. It's a very smartly written thing. And I thought that could have used a little more expansion. But once that is done, there's not much more to her character besides that there were some really awful people to her in her life. The serial killer is out to get blood. That's the other thing that's going on. There's a supernatural element to it, obviously. That wasn't an issue though. I guess my only issue was really some of the characterization could have used some work. And like I said, that first act felt a little shaky at times. It really could have, hit the ground running a little bit earlier than that. But beyond that, I really enjoyed Freaky. I think it's a really good time, and you should check it out if you get a chance to. I'm gonna give Freaky an 8 out of 10. So there are a lot of reviews dropping this weekend. You might be looking at your streaming services, guides or whatnot, and there's a lot that is yet to come out. So Mulan's coming out, in case you didn't do the premium thing in September. So you're going to get to see that on Disney+. Of course, there's Mank on Netflix. There's Sound of Metal on Prime. Ammonite on Video on Demand. Mandalorian, Episode 6. There's a lot to talk about. So you're going to see a lot of reviews over the next few days. And hopefully you guys subscribe, you look forward to that, and I'll try my best to get them out as fast as possible to you. I'll try and get Mandalorian and Mank out like tomorrow within like a few hours apart. That should be pretty fun to do. As always, if you like this, guys, please do subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the movies.